welcome to the show. I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Thank God it's Friday, and it's the last Friday of April. Can you believe that? Let's make it unforgettable with a dose of laughter, inspiration, information, and the best company.
Happy Friday! Woo, we made it! Woo. I'm Monique Tuzon. Your mornings are always mo fun with us. Join us in the next hour and a half for stories and conversations that matter. So we have a jam-packed show, a very girl power show to continue our little girl duo.
It's been jam-packed since Wednesday.
Yeah.
Since it was just the two of us on the show.
Right.
And we made it, Mo. High five!
We made it! So it's exciting. We have a beauty queen coming today. We haven't had a beauty queen in a while. And we also have some women empowerment.
You're a beauty queen. We have a beauty queen every day.
No, I renamed myself the Billionaire Queen. It sounds better. And then we also have an organization here that empower women.
The Zonta Club Philippines. They will be joining us this morning to talk about, they have an awards ceremony, I think. So we'll be talking more about that, plus more about Zonta Club Philippines. We would like to get more information about that group. And also we have Love Hacks on a Friday, because normally Coach V joins us Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, so she decided to join us today since it's a girl power show.
Yes,
and you know what, yesterday we were talking about how men should have that gorilla stance because you need to be confident, right? So you need to have your chest out, just the way Paolo del Rosario walks.
He's literally the best person. If you're thinking, what is gorilla stance? What is big gorilla energy? Paolo del Rosario is that. He is the leader of Planet of the Apes.
Yes, he is the epitome of the gorilla stance.
And we will show you exactly what
we
mean. We've showed this before for a different reason, but it's also the perfect gorilla stance. Ignore the beginning.
Guys,
this is arte lang.
all the guys who are watching, ito ang dapat nyo gayahin.
Right
there,
here.
That's the peg.
Same
there
with the V-neck, all the way down. That's
chest out. Diba?
That's our billionaire gorilla.
Hindi lang chest out, talagang literally chest out.
Look, super chest out.
Ayan.
Guys, have you ever seen a gorilla in a desert? Now you have. This is the first time. Only here on It's a Beautiful Day.
King Gorilla Pow! But really, to all the guys watching, yan a perfect example on how to walk confidently. If you want to win the girl, diba, you gotta be that confident. Paolo del Rosario, gorilla stance.
So if you have any questions, comments on how to do the gorilla stance, just comment and send messages to Paolo at Paolo del Rosario. Saka hindi na siya babalik on Monday after this. But we miss you!
We miss you, Pao. And I'm sure Pao is watching right now. So there you go, Pao. Dahil na-miss ka namin, we had to
so we're complete.
Show you on the
Look at our
LED
3
screen.
shots.
Ayan, there you go. It's a beautiful day!
Ang galing ng gorilla walk niya.
Okay.
Anyway,
guys, we are going to be with you for an hour and a half.
Yes.
It's going to be an informative show as always. But first, let's serve some news that you can use this morning. We check out first the roads in major thoroughfares this Friday. Now, here is the situation along EDSA Quezon Avenue flyover. On the left side of your screens are vehicles going to Quiapo. Light traffic on the flyover, but you will be slowing things down if you take that tunnel, the underpass. Now on the right side are vehicles headed to Quezon Memorial Circle. Light traffic as of this hour. Now let's take a look this time at EDSA White Plains. On the left side of your screens is a southbound lane going to Shaw Boulevard. So if you're heading southbound, you will be slowing things down as moderate traffic is already building up on that stretch. No problem yet on the opposite lane. That is the right side lane, northbound lane going to Cubao. Now, the expanded vehicle number coding scheme is back in full swing. It's a Friday. Vehicles with license plates ending in 9 and 0 should be off the road right now until 10 a.m. and again later from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now, what's the weather going to be like this Friday? Weather girl Mo has today's forecast from Weather HQ. Take it away, Mo.
Thank you so much, Anne. So let's check the weather. As of today, the Intertropical Convergence Zone, or ITCZ, continues to affect weather conditions across southern parts of Mindanao. Elsewhere, most areas in the country remain under the influence of warm and moist winds from the easterlies over here. Due to the ITCZ, provinces including Surigao del Sur, Davao Oriental, Davao Occidental, Sarangani, Sultan Kudarat, Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi can expect mostly cloudy to cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and isolated thunderstorms. In areas that have been seeing frequent rainfall, there is an increased risk of flooding and possible landslides, particularly during heavy downpours. Now, other parts of Mindanao, as you can see behind me, may experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms, mainly in the late afternoon or evening hours. Meanwhile, in Luzon and the Visayas, hot and humid conditions persist due to the easterly winds coming from the Pacific. This weather pattern is driving up temperatures, making it feel even hotter and more uncomfortable. To stay safe, remember to keep hydrated always and avoid extended exposure to the sun during peak hours, especially around midday. Now let's dive into how current weather conditions are driving Pag-asa's latest heat index forecast. Several areas across the country continue to experience extreme heat, with heat index values reaching levels classified under the danger zone. Dagupan City in Pangasinan is expected to hit one of the highest heat index levels today, peaking at 45 degrees Celsius. Closely following with a heat index of 44 degrees Celsius are Casiguran, Aurora, Tanawan, Batangas, Coron, Palawan, and Panglao, Bohol. Now, other locations forecast to register a heat index of 43 degrees Celsius include Bacnotan, La Union, Tuguegarao City, Cagayan, Camiling, Tarlac, San Jose Occidental, Mindoro, Puerto Princesa City, Puyo, Palawan, Masbate City, Pili, Camarines Sur, Dumangas, Iloilo. Locations that may experience a heat index of 42 degrees Celsius, still falling within the dangerous range. Now, these locations include Etiaga, Isabela, Baler, Aurora, Muñoz, Nueva Ecija, Subic Bay, Olongapo, San Ildefonso, Bulacan, Sangli Point, Cavite, Infanta, Quezon, Rojas City, Capiz, Mambusao, Capiz, Iloilo City, La Granja, and La Carlota, Negros Occidental. Now, given these intense temperatures, residents are always strongly urged to stay hydrated, avoid strenuous outdoor activities from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., and look out for children, seniors, and individuals with pre-existing health conditions who are at greater risk of heat-related illnesses. As for our sea conditions, there are still currently no gale warnings issued, and sea conditions remain calm to moderate, generally safe for small boats and fishing vessels. Light to moderate winds and waves are expected in most coastal waters. However, mariners are advised to stay alert for any sudden weather changes and to regularly monitor Pag-asa for updated advisories before departure. That's it for Weather HQ at the moment. Back to you, Anne.
Thank you so much, Mo, for that weather report. Moving on to national news, Malacanang lashed back at Vice President Sara Duterte, telling her to shun crab mentality. This comes after the VP links the administration's 20 pesos per kilo rice program to elections and says the affordable rice is not fit for human consumption.
Ang tunay na leader at tunay na Pilipino ay dapat sumusuporta sa kapwa Pilipino, lalong-lalo na sa pinuno ng bansa. Huwag sanang pairalin ang crab mentality at huwag maging anay sa lipunan. Matagal na po nilang ini-issue na mukhang hindi kakayanin ng Pangulo ang aspirasyon na magkaroon at mag-deliver ng bigas sa halagang 20 pesos kada kilo. Ngayon po, na unti-unting natutupad ang aspirasyon na ito ng Pangulo, bakit muli na naman silang nagsasalita, nagiging negatibo?
Palace Press Officer Claire Castro adds, VP Sara saying that NFA rice is for animals is an insult to Filipino farmers.
Hindi porkit po umura ang bigas, sasabihin na panghayop ang nasabing bigas. Liliwanagin lamang po natin. Ang ibebentang bigas ay yung bigas po na nabibili ngayon sa halagang 33 pesos. Kapag po sinabi, ninuman, na ito ay panghayop na bigas, minamaliit po natin ang mga farmers natin na nagbebenta po sa NFA, sa ating gobyerno.
Castro clarifies the rice program was rolled out in Visayas due to availability and demand, and not because the region is vote-rich like the VP implies.
Aside from VP Sara, an agriculture expert and a rice watch group also believe the 20 pesos per kilo rice program is too good to be true. In an interview on DWAR Abante Radio, former Agriculture Secretary Leonardo Montemayor questioned how the government will shoulder the cost of milling rice grains.
To produce 1 kilo of rice, NFA must spend mga 37 pesos. Kasi namimili po yan ng palay eh. Ngayon, ibibenta mo ngayon ng 20 pesos. Di bawat kilo na ibibenta natin at 20, malaking pagkalugi o kung hindi pagkalugi, yung subsidy.
Meanwhile, the SINA Group or Samahan sa Industriya ng Agrikultura appeals to the government not to undersell Filipino farmers and avoid the farm gate price from dropping. Another group, Bantay Bigas, questioned the timing of the program, which comes after PBBM's trust ratings dropped double digits in the latest Pulse Asia survey.
Make that Duterte plus 2. The party of former President Rodrigo Duterte has completed its senatorial slate. Davao City Representative Paolo Duterte says his father endorsed former Senator Gringo Honasan and retired Marine Colonel Ariel Querubin, expanding the PDP Laban's original 10 bets. Honasan led a signature campaign urging the International Criminal Court to return FPRRD to the Philippines, while Querubin previously criticized the former president's 3 to 6 month timeline in the controversial war on drugs. This development comes after Vice President Sara Duterte endorsed Senator Amy Marcos and Representative Camille Villar. While VP Sara says her endorsements are personal, she is still calling on supporters to push for a complete PDP Laban sweep.
Pinapaalam niya sa buong sambayan ng Pilipino na patuloy po raw suportahan ang PDP Laban Duterte Senators plus 2. Final niya in-endorse ngayon sa loob, pinapaalam sa inyo si Querubin pati si Honasan.
Hindi na ako magpaligoy-ligoy pa, diretso ninyong iboto ang 10 kandidato ng Duterte.
COMELEC has issued more show cause orders to errant candidates. Among them, the Committee on Contra Bigay has cited former Manila Mayor Isko Moreno and his competitor for the Manila mayoral seat, Sam Versosa. Also among those issued show cause orders are Leyte congressional candidate Levito Baligod, Caloocan mayoral bet Along Malapitan, and Masbate gubernatorial candidate Richard Ko, all on the grounds of alleged vote buying and abuse of state resources.
Poll-related violence cases are on the rise as the upcoming midterm polls draw near. This comes after Rizal Cagayan Mayor Joel Ruma was gunned down during a campaign rally on Wednesday. Following the incident, the poll body says it is considering to place the Cagayan town under a red category area of concern. Cagayan province was earlier placed in the green category area of concern from orange category last March. The poll body says Ruma's killing could be election-related. Meanwhile, the National Union of Journalists in the Philippines also called out Abra congressional candidate J.B. Bernos for allegedly threatening DZRH's provincial correspondent Roy Gonzalez.
And we will demand justice and sana nga ito ay wake-up call din sa ating pong pamunuan ng Philippine National Police na kakailanganin natin ng immediate justice by apprehending yung mga criminals, yung mga may kasalanan po nito.
Hindi dapat ito maging dahilan para magkaroon ng chilling effect, no? para sa mga media, para mag-cover. Bagkus dapat nga maging ano pa to maging kumbaga maging prompt ito sa atin na mag-push back sa ganitong mga threats. No? We have to show na hindi acceptable yung ganitong behavior mula sa mga officials natin, no? Lalo na yung mga elected at lalo na yung mga tumatakbo sa eleksyon. Ano? Kumbaga, eleksyon pa lang, ganito na yung pinapakita nila. What more kung manalo yan? Ano?
A document has recently surfaced, allegedly from President Marcos's Alianza party list. Among the contents of the document are the campaign plans of the party, which include pushing for the impeachment of VP Sara Duterte and the disqualification of the candidates she supports. Also prominent on the document is the signature of House Majority Leader Manix Dalipe, who is also Executive Vice President of the Lakas CMD party. Some lawmakers think the document is a fake.
I don't think it's real because I was there. I'm part of the execcom. I didn't see any document. Merong distribute yung mga statistics per region, indicating how our candidates are faring so that we could possibly apply a targeted approach na tutulungan natin those who seem to be lagging behind. But that's the only document that I saw that was being circulated, iba't ibang region.
Lakas CMD Congresswoman Geraldine Roman also states that the issue of impeachment is separate and was not discussed during meetings.
It's counterintuitive, if there were such a political strategy, I wouldn't even put it down on paper. Born yesterday, hindi naman ganun. Yung mga ganyang usapan, if it were true, would be just discussed ever so subtly and ever so quietly, pero walang paper talaga. Fake. Alam mo, ito ang panahon ng fake news. Ganyan, sa kampanya.
Senator Francis Tolentino dropped a bombshell on Thursday, revealing a link between the Chinese embassy and a troll farm operation in the country. Tolentino says the embassy contracted Infinitus Marketing Solutions Incorporated for 930,000 pesos to create a horde of keyboard warriors. The trolls are said to be paid up to 24,000 pesos monthly to attack government officials and agencies. They also reportedly proliferate online narratives, especially if there are pro-China candidates. The Billionario News channel is still trying to get a comment from Infinitus, while the Chinese embassy is yet to release a statement.
Former President Rodrigo Duterte's lead counsel, attorney Nicholas Kaufman, pushes back against claims he's limiting the number of IDs complainants could present to the International Criminal Court.
There were two activist victims representatives by the names of Joel Butayan and Christina Conti, who made all sorts of assertions in the press that I had asked to restrict victims' participation in the process by limiting the ID documents that could be used.
Kaufman adds Conti and Butuyan weren't accepted as representatives of the drug war victims. But Conti clarifies she was not appointed as the registration for legal representation is yet to open and that she has been working with the drug victims since 2016. Conti tells Kaufman not to use technicality to stifle victims' participation in the case.
Filipinos in Paris, France, hold a solemn mass for the late Pope Francis. A good number of Filipinos made a way to attend the mass despite it being held on a working day.
Nakakalungkot. But at the same time, kumbaga titingnan mo ang galaw ng Diyos sa kanyang buhay at sa ating simbahan. Malaking biyaya. At nagpaalam siya ng tahimik at sa gitna ng pagdiriwang ng Pasko ng pagkabuhay.
Today, another solemn mass of gratitude will be held at the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, which will be followed by a vigil of prayer and adoration.
Luis Antonio Cardinal Tagle led a rosary prayer for Pope Francis at his chosen burial site, the Basilica of Saint Mary Major in Rome. Vatican News reports Tagle called on the public to pray for the late pontiff during the fourth recitation of the rosary, which was dedicated to the Holy Father. There is no clear frontrunner to succeed Pope Francis just yet, but Tagle is among the early favorites to become the next leader of the Catholic Church. Tagle, along with Manila Archbishop Jose Cardinal Advincula and Caloocan Bishop Pablo Virgilio Cardinal David, are the three Filipino electors expected to join the conclave.
Now in Ukraine, Russia pounded Kyiv with missiles and drone overnight, killing at least 12 people in the biggest attack in the capital city this year. Distressed friends and relatives of victims stood by the destroyed apartment building as rescuers retrieve victims. The attack prompted a rare rebuke from U.S. President Donald Trump, who said it was unnecessary and in bad timing. Trump told reporters he is applying a lot of pressure on Russia and reiterated his displeasure with the attack.
Moving on to sports, it's the end of the road for Alex Ayala in the Madrid Open after a courageous and valiant effort. The women's world number 72 lost to world number 2 and defending champ Iga Swiatek in their highly anticipated rematch. Final score 4-6, 6-4, and 6-2. Ayala took the first set, but the Polish superstar rallied to win the match that lasted 2 hours and 15 minutes. The Filipino tennis sensation walks away with 35 ranking points and over 30,000 euros in prize money, or nearly 2 million pesos.
Meanwhile, one man down in the Madrid Open as Carlos Alcaraz withdraws from the tournament due to injury. Alcaraz said he was struggling with hamstring and groin issues, a potential blow for his title defense preparations at the French Open next month. The Spanish star sustained the injury during the final of the Barcelona Open earlier this month. Despite this, Alcaraz received high praise from tennis icon Novak Djokovic, who believes the Spaniard is well on his way to becoming a future great.
We have to remember that his age and what he has done for his age is not also normal, and I'm sure that we'll see a lot of him on the big stage with trophies in the future, whatever, 10 years, 15 years, as long as he's playing. It's hard to compare eras. The last 20 years was dominated mostly by the four of us, and you know, obviously when the three of my biggest rivals retired, and you know, you can feel there's a shift, not only in terms of the generations of players that are come now, all of a sudden, you know, the main focus and attention is on them.
In entertainment, a new biopic of another cultural icon is in the works, and the main cast has been revealed. A24 confirms the Holdovers actor Dominic Sessa will star as the late American celebrity chef and author Anthony Bourdain in an upcoming film, Tony. The film will reportedly take place in 1976 and cover the life-changing experiences Bourdain had working and living in Provincetown, Massachusetts. Bourdain has since taken off as an executive chef at a New York City restaurant 2 years after the film is set. He eventually became penned the 2000 memoir Kitchen Confidential and became a celebrated personality in the culinary scene with his globe-trotting TV series No Reservations and Parts Unknown.
Now up ahead, an awards-giving body is looking to honor exceptional leading women for its latest edition this year. That conversation comes after the break. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. A group is searching for leading and empowered women for this year. So for the ladies out there, do you think you have what it takes to make a difference? We are joined by Aileen Ruiz-Zarate, the chair of the 2025 Bravo Awards Committee. Joining us are members of the Zonta Club of Makati and Environs Foundation Incorporated, member Iyay David-Aquino, and President-elect Marcy Kohchet-Chua. It's a beautiful day. Ladies, it is really a girl power show today.
Yes, it is.
We are joined by such empowered women. Now, before we talk about the Bravo Empowered Women Awards, I wanted to ask, what exactly is Zonta Club? Because I know Zonta International, right? And it aims to empower women through service and advocacy. Can you tell us what is Zonta Club here in the Philippines, what it represents, and what is your mission and vision?
So we're really executing and getting aligned with what Zonta International wants to achieve. We have a very important representation in the United Nations. Our voices are heard there. And that's why we are very much aligned in actually implementing and executing what the UN SDG goals are all about. And very critical to that is actually establishing equality. And in the Philippines, all of our programs are actually geared towards that. Recognition of women, empowering women, and not just older women, but actually young girls. We start them early, right? So, and we want to make sure that in areas where we now have to lift up representation, primarily in sectors where women are a minority, we want to make sure that that is something that's happening, that is something that people are aware of, and something that's being championed across different sectors.
Yeah, I love that. We definitely need more women power, not just here in the Philippines, honestly, everywhere around the world. I feel like we are so underrated. So watch out, world. We are coming for you. But one of the programs I want to talk about is the Empowered, or the Bravo Empowered Women Awards. So let's expound more on that.
So it was launched, I guess, 6 bienniums ago. So this is the 8th Bravo Empowered Women Awards. And it's really to recognize Filipinas who have made a difference in their communities. Unsung heroes. I think we're looking for unsung heroes, people who have really made a difference through either their profession and advocacy. And really, we want to showcase them so that to inspire more women, right? To really influence their to drive change, to also push for reforms and make sure that they impact the lives of the others around them.
Now, to be nominated, is there an eligibility or criteria that the women have to meet?
Yes, so they have to be a Filipino citizen. They have to be in their profession and their advocacy for at least 3 years. And then it's really unsung, so they shouldn't have been awarded a national or international award yet. So that's a very important.
Very important.
And really, just their advocacy should have made an impact, and it should have been sustainable. So it's not just a one-off thing, but they've been able to sustain it for at least 3 years already.
Are there particular categories?
Yes, actually, we have 8 categories.
All right.
So we are actually looking for an awardee for sports, social services, media, and public service. So we also are looking for arts and heritage. And then we also have business, and there's culinary, and then there's education. So those are the 8 categories that we are looking for.
In fact, 4 of those are Zonta International categories, and then we added another 4 when we executed it here in the Philippines.
And you guys started 6 years ago, correct? The Bravo
12 years. So every 2 years.
It's every 2 years.
Okay. And how have you guys evolved since you guys started this?
In terms of
I think the categories are it's actually been a journey because it's really hard to find unsung heroes. So I think the first few awards, I mean, they're really names that people maybe recognize. So as we've gone along, it's been harder and harder, right? So it's really trying to go to the provinces, find people who are not in the limelight. So I mean, that's really the thrust now. I think.
And in fact, it's not so much that they are reaching us to represent themselves, because that's against the grain, right? I mean, these are really women who have very, very important work. They're very passionate about it, and they're so generously, giving time and effort. And it's actually in the eyes of their beneficiaries. The people are receiving this kindness, the effect and the impact of all of this work. We would love for them to actually step up and let us know who are these women who are very, very inspiring for them and has actually changed their lives. Because, as Aileen has said, the search started easy, but over time, when they've been discovered, all other award-giving bodies have been approaching them, right?
Yeah,
And
so
that's
you
great.
discovered it for them.
You guys are their momagers,
Exactly.
right? At the start of their thing.
Right? And women empowerment is really multiplying, right? So, which is great. Like, we want many, many more voices and many more organizations to push this forward. But that would mean there's more recognition that's happening. So we want to stay faithful to the cause, which is we want to look for the unsung heroes. And they're the ones that are directly making an impact, even in work that's not advertised. There's no public relations around it. And yet it's actually expanding in reach and effect.
For the sake of our viewers, can you tell us, some of the past winners?
Okay,
Maybe the
we can do
memorable
one
ones.
each.
Yeah.
We'll do one each.
Sure,
I think we have our
of course.
favorites.
Let's do that.
There was one lady, she's actually one of the first female Bagobo Taga-Waba tribe chieftains.
Okay.
And to me, she had a big impact. Her name is Bai Arlene Salazar, because not just because she was a chieftain, but it's because of the way she was ensuring that the cultural heritage and also the kind of work and livelihood being done by the women in her tribe, which is, beadwork, the embroidery, all the way in Davao del Sur, is preserved. And we know that because of commercialization, these are the things that are now potentially going to suffer because it's highly dependent on natural resources to make it, to make it happen. But actually, we will learn a lot from these kinds of communities because they're the ones who have been living a world of sustainability, right? And that combined to me was quite significant to see in a woman who has been a staunch supporter, running a council, making sure the world understands how this work is being done and its implications and how it can actually be sustained in the long term as well. So very, very impressive woman and work.
How about you, Aileen?
So there was a lady, her name is Rebecca Angeles. So hers was really, through her organization, Wipe Every Tear, she's been trying to help the victims of sexual abuse. So they provide counseling and also education. And through her program, like 56 of these women have actually found jobs already. So it's very inspiring because it's also along the lines of what Zonta International is trying to do as well. Yeah.
Iyay.
Me, it would be Attorney Lopa. She's, of course, a lawyer. And then she's a sports advocate. And she's part of Girls Got Game. So this one, they do a lot of sports camps for women and young women. So I really feel that we should be able to also go into sports as women. So right now, there's a lot of hype on sports for women. So where should they start? They should be able to start somewhere. So since there's a lot of sports camp that she's trying to put up and helping the underprivileged girls. So this one is also close to Zonta's cause.
Okay.
Now, I want to ask you guys like a very opinionated question. So this is just whatever you all think. Do you feel that women here in the Philippines are adequately represented in their leadership roles, whether that be in politics, media, corporate jobs, etc.? And what can we do if we're not represented well to move forward?
You want to get started?
Sure. I mean, I think in terms of business and politics, I think in the Philippines we have representation. And I don't know, maybe this is my personal view. I think it's also because the men are also very supportive in general. So it's a very matriarchal society. But, I think there's more that can be done. So it's really through leaning in, right? So finding role models so that the young women can aspire, like, oh, I can be that because she's done it. Finding your network, your mentors, and also champions and advocates is important as well. So this is something I think, it has to start early, so in the home, but also in school. And then when you go into your professional life, also try to find a company that actually advocates for that as well.
Going back to Bravo Empowered Women, are there any long-term goals that you have for this awards?
Well, it's really, like we said, it's really to find more and more of these unsung heroes, and it's to...
Is there like a nomination process?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is. In fact, in our current search, right? So, in the 8 categories, we've been receiving nominations for each of them, multiple nominations, luckily. But unfortunately, we haven't even received anyone for sports.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we're going to take advantage of this opportunity.
So
that you're giving
if
to
you guys
us.
know anybody in sports,
People in sports,
yeah, go
right?
ahead and nominate them.
Yes, if the young ladies are watching this, if you're a student and you've benefited from somebody who's taken care of opening doors for you, showing you the ropes in the sports area, please come and show us and let us know who these women are.
How do they get in contact with you guys? If they want to nominate someone, do they just reach out online, or do they have to go
to the Security Bank website?
Okay.
There's a link there to the nomination form and then a supplemental form which they need to answer. It's basically 3 essay questions so that they can describe their advocacy.
Okay.
And then they email that form to Zonta. It's all on the website, but we've extended the deadline to May 15. So it was originally April 30, but we wanted to give more time for the search, especially for some of the categories.
Yeah. So they have 2 more weeks to send in their nominations, especially for the women in sports category.
Media and public
Also for media,
affairs.
ladies. It's for media ladies.
So if you guys want to nominate us, I will not nominate myself.
Dino, maybe you can nominate us.
I know somebody here.
Because why not?
Yes. But beyond, this awards, this Bravo Empowered Women Awards, beyond that, how does Zonta Club continue to support women, empower women through other activities?
Okay, I'll take off from, Bravo exists, but it doesn't exist in a silo. We connect it to all of the other programs that we do. So for example, we also sponsor as a club the building of a Golden Z or a Z Club. What are these clubs? These are for the younger women. So when we talk about Golden Z, that means we work with universities, with schools, for them to set up actually a Zonta Golden Z Club, right? And that connection actually gives us an opportunity to talk and actually plan a calendar of leadership programs, development programs, etc. that actually will connect the Bravo awardees with the young people, right?
Okay.
That exposure, that connection, that networking, we believe, is going to have a more long-term effect.
Now, besides the Bravo Awards, what other events can women look forward to after, I guess, May 15th, right?
Yes. Every year we come up with Filipinas. It's a fundraising activity. It's a shop for a cause. So all women likes to shop.
Of course.
So,
Of course.
yeah,
Count
so
us in,
we do
especially
that.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have that. That's usually October, November. So
Okay.
around that time. And proceeds, we use it to fund our different projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd also like to share that about a couple years ago, we started the Little Vintage Shop.
Ooh, what is this about?
Right, so vintage
Yeah.
shopping is like almost like a normal thing in developed markets, right? And in Japan, for example,
Yeah,
is
it's my
one of those
favorite.
really favorite areas. But that actually exists now in the Philippines.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so you should check our Instagram account. It's the Little Vintage Shop.
Okay.
And what we do there is we accept pre-loved clothes, pre-loved accessories, shoes, bags, furniture, whatnots that you have, because there's really now a demand for those kinds of things. I mean, there's a lot of support, especially from young people. Yay, it's great to actually do the whole complete cycle of commercial goods, right? And outside of that, we also extended it to upcycling. So if there are actually pre-loved items that do not get sold, for example, they're picked up by very, very creative designers, and they actually do a new life for them.
upcycle
And they
them.
upcycle them, you know, and that's actually one of a kind. I mean, if you get hold of it, yes.
You guys don't have a physical store, just Instagram right now?
Not yet, but we do have actually a
Pop-ups.
showroom in
Sometimes we
Taguig,
have
and we do
pop-ups.
pop-ups.
Nice.
Yeah, so we just finished one in White
In
Space.
White Space. We joined.
Yeah, so we joined them, and also another event by Philippine Star. We also joined that.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, for our viewers who are interested to learn more about Zonta Club, where can they find you guys?
On our website.
On our website.
Yeah, they can visit our website. We also engage, we respond to comments, questions, etc. on our Facebook page. So just go to Zonta Club of Makati and Environs.
Very nice.
Thank
We're
you
so
very
excited
much.
for
I
that
know.
pop-up.
Yes.
Don't forget, guys, if you want to nominate Anne and I for the Media Award,
For the media category, nominations are welcome until May 15. Thank you so much. But thank you for
Thank
your
you so
time
much.
this
Thank you so much,
morning.
ladies.
Aileen Ruiz-Zarate, Iyay David-Aquino, and Marcy Kohchet-Chua of Zonta Club. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
joining
much.
us today.
I appreciate it.
When we come back, we still have more girl power as we'll be joined by a beauty queen with a heart of gold, stunning on both the runway and medical ward. Miss Elite Global Philippines Francine Tahanlangit joins us after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Beauty and brains with a purpose. Our guest today is taking her advocacy to a grander stage as the Miss Elite Global is searching for its new queen in India next month. Nursing student and Miss Elite Global Philippines, Francine Tahanlangit, joins us here today. Francine, it's a beautiful day.
Hello, good morning. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course, we're matching.
I know.
The girl power is so
It's giving.
big today.
Yes.
You know what, Francine, from a nursing student to a pageant queen, how did that all start?
Well, actually, with my first real pageant really started with Miss Manila back in 2023. So after that, I won second runner-up. And then my pageant handler contacted me last January. He said they were looking for a beauty queen that would represent Philippines in this upcoming pageant, Miss Elite Global. And luckily, they invited me to represent Philippines. And right now, we're here and we're in the journey of being the next Miss Elite Global, hopefully.
So you are a nurse, from a nurse to a beauty queen, right? How has your medical background influenced your perspective on the pageant world?
Okay, so even before joining the pageant, health has really been an advocacy for me.
Okay.
Since my dad is actually a registered nurse as well,
Alright.
this has really immersed me into the medical field. So my advocacy started when I was young. Since my dad loves joining medical missions, he would bring me to those medical missions, and that's where my eyes got open to the reality of the healthcare here in the Philippines.
Okay.
We would go to the remote places sometimes in the Philippines. Also, we would go to the communities in Manila, and that's where my purpose really started. That's where I saw that I could go beyond just helping myself, and I can help other people as well.
So you mentioned your main advocacy is healthcare accessibility here in the Philippines. Let's talk about that. What are you doing to make healthcare more accessible? Because from what I understand, it's kind of hard here in the Philippines to get healthcare, right?
Yes, that's true. So what we're doing right now is conducting medical missions. like what I've said a while ago, we conduct medical missions in the remote places in the Philippines. However, I believe that this is not enough to sustain the health of the people that we reach through the medical missions. So one thing that's really close to my heart is Republic Act 1122.3. This is something that I love talking about because this gives people or the Filipinos a privilege to have access to health care, and this law aims to give free health care to not just people in the urban places but as well as in rural places. So since healthcare accessibility right now in the Philippines is, I'd say it has progressed a lot, but still there's a lot of struggles within it. So like one thing that we do is medical missions, but another thing that I want to really advocate for, and the dream of healthcare accessibility, is to have healthcare programs in every barangay, so that people won't have to go to hospitals and to pay expensive bills just to have, let's say, a checkup. So for example, if we have a free natal checkup in the barangay levels, then pregnant women won't have to go to 4 hospitals to get access to health care.
Are you already taking those steps to help each barangay have those free checkups?
Right now, we're still working on it since we have to coordinate with the LGU as well, and we don't want to overstep. But this is something that's like being here, being interviewed, and being able to share this advocacy is already a big step for me.
You know, it's heartwarming to see that you're using your platform to really help people, especially the ones who cannot afford healthcare, right? But I'm curious, what made you go into pageantry? What or who inspired you to take this path? Was there like a pivotal moment in your life, like while being a nurse, you're like, wait a minute, I think I can be more, maybe like show myself out there to the world? What, you know, steered you into this direction?
Honestly, when I was young, I didn't really dream to become a beauty queen. But then during my high school journey, this is actually a funny story because the only reason why I joined pageants first, like before, was for grades.
Grades?
Interesting. During high school journey, they would need like muses to represent sections, right? So my teachers encouraged me to join. I was like, okay, well, if you say it's for grades, then I'll join. But then I realized really how powerful it is. And of course, throughout my pageant journey, my friends have supported me so much, especially my mom. She's such a stage mom. She's actually here right now.
Hi, Mommy.
And she's been one of the people that really pushed me and really believed in my talent and my capabilities. And right now, I'm here.
How do you handle situations where people try to put you in a box? Either you're just a nurse or you're just a pageant girl.
I guess I really start with having a strong core to myself. I really believe that my parents raised me to be a woman that knows her purpose, that knows her identity. That's why whenever people put me in a box, I also look beyond that, more than just myself, and I try to understand where they're coming from. And sometimes this really goes deep than just them judging you. This goes way deeper, like it could be a personal issue. And if I could just show kindness to this person, then this would create a ripple effect, honestly, that helps them to encourage other people as well, rather than putting others to a box.
You are a nurse, you have a medical background, your dad is an RN, and you have done volunteer work, you've done medical missions, so you are seeing a different side of the healthcare system here in the Philippines. What improvements would you like to see in our healthcare system as someone who advocates for medical accessibility and as a nurse who works in that field?
Well, of course, like really one thing that I've talked about a while ago is my dream really is to have healthcare programs in every barangay. But at the same time, I really want to see Philippines having free healthcare for everyone. Since the reality is people are usually intimidated with going to hospitals, not because of the procedure, but because of the expenses. that
Yeah.
because of the expensive healthcare programs. So, like, if there's one thing that I would really love to see is that people having that right to access healthcare rather than just a privilege that you get when you have money to pay for it.
Apart from your advocacy, how has your nursing background bring a unique perspective to your pageant journey?
Well, my nursing background really showed me how to have compassion to other people and to really look beyond myself and to really care for other people in an excellent way. So with nursing, you take care of people physically, but then if you go beyond that, whenever I talk to people, I make sure that I don't just somehow assist them with their physical discomfort, but as well as their emotional and mental well-being as well.
Now, can you tell us about your journey, competing for Miss Elite Global Philippines? What were the challenges? What were the highlights?
So for Miss Elite Global, so right now we're preparing a lot for, since my pageant will be on May 7 to 12. So right now we're preparing for Q&A, for talent. And one struggle would be like balancing my time since I am graduating nursing student.
Okay.
So how are you balancing your time?
That's tough. I feel that's tough.
Yeah, so right now, since I'm 4th year, we're focused with clinical duties. So later, actually, I'll be going to the hospital for my clinical rotation.
Okay.
So, like, one thing is really just prioritizing my time and making sure that I manage it wisely. So I make sure that I have a schedule for the day, and I'm not really strict with like following everything, but I'd say that I'm really graced for the season just because everything in my schedule is just so on point.
Okay.
And I'm just so sure that it's God being upon my schedule because it's really hectic, to be honest.
Yeah, and you still look great while doing all of that.
You don't look stressed at all.
I know, right?
Yeah, not one bit.
What advice do you have to young Filipino women who are juggling multiple jobs, multiple, I guess, goals and dreams, and how can they achieve them like you're doing right now?
So if there's one thing I learned, I guess it's to not hold things too tightly. Because I believe if you're really graced for the season, if God placed you in this specific season, He's gonna make a way for everything to fit and make a way for everything to work out for your good as well.
Well, thank you. I really
you
enjoy
very
that, and we're
much.
so excited to see
We
you
wish
compete
you luck.
in India.
Thank you so much.
Normally, they have good luck when they guest on our show.
That's
we always
true.
say that every
I know, I mean
week.
it.
So yeah, you're gonna manifest and claim it today. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Miss Francine Tahanlangit. Good luck in India.
Thank you.
And we've got more stories for you guys, plus our horoscope of the day with Master Hans Kua after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Hello there and welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day, the Weather HQ segment. Scorching heat and strong winds sparked intense wildfires across central Israel on Wednesday, April 23, as firefighters and emergency crews raced to contain the rapidly spreading flames. The fire neared the hills surrounding Jerusalem, forcing the evacuation of several communities. Firefighting planes dropped flame retardant over forests, while police blocked roads and ordered drivers to abandon their vehicles. Several homes caught fire, and crews working through the night to prevent further damage. Some roads were closed but later reopened, according to media reports. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited the Fire Command Center and instructed officials to prepare for possible international assistance, including from Greece.
In northern Vietnam, scars from Typhoon Yagi remain. A landslide last September wiped out an entire village. Win Thi Kim was one of dozens forced to relocate. Authorities moved her community to safer ground as part of a broader plan to protect vulnerable areas from increasing climate disasters. Their new settlement is designed for climate displacement, a model officials hope will help Vietnam cope with more frequent floods, landslides, and droughts. For Win and others, adapting to climate change means more than just moving. It's about redefining traditions to survive an uncertain future. In rural Uganda, worsening drought and failed harvest are driving desperate communities to extreme measures, poisoning migrating white storks to feed their families. Local farmer and conservationist Joel Cherub says the practice has escalated rapidly in recent months, with villagers resorting to poisoning the birds, which migrate through the region in large numbers. He said that people have no food, so they found an alternative. He estimates that since the beginning of the year, around 3,000 white storks have been killed and consumed. Cherub, who is actively working to discourage the practice, warns of the environmental and health risks posed by the use of poison and urges for sustainable food solutions to help communities facing increasing food insecurity. As drought continues to devastate crops across parts of Uganda, conservationists and local leaders are calling for urgent support to address the growing humanitarian and ecological crisis.
Now from global weather to the stars. So what do the stars have in store for us today? Let's go find out from our resident energizer and feng shui master, Hans Kua, in our horoscope of the day. Go ahead, Master Hans.
Good morning! It's a beautiful day with me, Master Hans Kua. Ito po ang horoscope for today. Happy Friday, April 25. Para sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat, maging innovative sa mga solusyon na inaalok sa trabaho. Beige at 5. Year of the Ox naman tayo, simulan na ang side hustle na matagal mo nang pinag-iisipan. Magenta at 4. Kay Year of the Tiger naman, huwag magmadali sa mga desisyon pagdating sa pag-ibig. Pag-isipang mabuti. Pink at 2. Sa Year of the Rabbit naman tayo, pagtuunan ng pansin ang pagpapatawad sa mga nakaraan upang makapag-move on ka na. Silver at 6. Year of the Dragon naman, huwag matakot humingi ng feedback para mapabuti ang trabaho. Blue at 4. Year of the Snake naman tayo, ugaliin magbasa ng healthy tips at subukan i-apply yan sa buhay. Gold at 7. Ito naman! Sa Year of the Horsey, magtipid sa unnecessary na gastusin upang makaiwas sa pagkakautang. Purple at 5. Kay Year of the Sheep naman tayo, ugaliin magbasa ng health tips at subukan gawin yan sa buhay mo. Orange at 8. Kay Year of the Monkey naman tayo, mag-practice ng time management upang mas marami kang matapos. Pink at 2. Kay Year of the Rooster naman tayo, maglaan ng oras para sa magdasal at mag-relax for peace of mind. Gray at 9. Kay Year of the Dog naman tayo, huwag magdalawang isip na ipakita ang iyong kakayahan. Yellow at 6. Kay Year of the Pig naman tayo, work-life balance is the key para hindi mapagod. Green at 1. Ako po, si Master Hans Kua. Paalala lang, ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan araw-araw ang horoscope of the day. Dito lang po sa It's a Beautiful Day with me, Master Hans Kua.
Thank you very much, Master Hans Kua. Now, did you hear what Master Hans said about you need
so for
to
the rest of the show,
you need to allot time for prayer so you can have peace of mind.
He didn't say prayer.
He
He said find way.
Pagdarasal. That's prayer.
I'm always praying.
Ako ba talaga yung correct niya?
I thought you said find ways to find peace of mind.
No, you have to find time for prayer for your peace of mind. So mag-pray ka mo. Di ka
I'm
kasi
always
nagpe-pray.
praying. How do you not know I pray?
Wala, I just thought.
I'm always praying. As a religious person, as a conservative girl, don't forget to nominate me.
You know, I'm just saying, I always pray, especially now we have to pray for the conclave because we need to have a great pope ahead of us. So
Yes.
that's something
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
worried about. So
I
I've
am
been praying
crossing
about
my
that.
fingers and praying that the Holy Spirit will really, you know, dictate who the next pope is going to be. And I hope
Right.
he's going to be as great
I know,
as
Pope Francis. But wait, what was your horoscope? Is it something about saving money?
No, it's actually about listening to health tips and putting them into action so that I can be healthy. Well, thank you
You're
for the
healthy naman
reminder. Thank you for the reminder, Master Hans. I think the only thing that I skip on is sleep. I don't get enough sleep, and you need sleep, especially if you want to like lose weight or everything. Yeah, so sleep.
So we have the weekend.
I
It's
know,
the weekend.
exactly,
So do not
right?
disturb any of us, and I will be sleeping as sleeping beauties of the show.
But before we rest, we still have a lot of things up
Yes.
ahead. We're going to be talking about love. Up ahead, we will hear from a guy who thinks that men love more than women. Dating coach V returns today to talk about so-called double standards in dating and love hacks after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Don't go away. And welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Now, some men might think the dating scene is bent in favor of women, who they say are always on the receiving end of love. Dating coach V weighs in on this in today's Love Hacks. Take it away, Coach V.
Good morning, loves. It's a beautiful day. Coach V here, your go-to love solution provider, bringing you a brand new way to level up your love life. Welcome to Love Hacks. Today's brutal question: do women truly love men or just the benefits that come with them? When the giving stops, does she find a richer man? Whoa! Well, loves, get ready because we're breaking it down with a little sass and a lot of science. So get ready for this fiery episode. Here's the claim. Anne?
All right, here's today's Reddit post. Women want to be loved, but they don't want to love. That's why women expect things from men, even on the first date, like expecting to be paid for. Generally speaking, women can't really love men. At best, they can only like them. And even that is conditional, only if the man provides something, which means the man himself doesn't matter, just what he offers. Once that stops, she'll leave and find another provider. Most women don't actually care about men, their hobbies, desires, or feelings, because those things serve no purpose to women.
Oh, wow. To Kuya who wrote this, buckle up. You just started a war with that post. Let's set the record straight here. Having standards isn't the same as being transactional. Yes, women are biologically wired to seek security. It's not gold digging, it's evolutionary psychology. The feminine instinct is to protect the future, emotionally, physically, and generationally. So we tend to choose a man who can help fulfill that mission. And we can't afford to pick weak men. Period. As a dating coach, here's one of the biggest gender differences that I've seen. Men love fast, but women love wisely. Let's talk about science here. According to Helen Dr. Fisher, a world-renowned biological anthropologist, take note, she said, Women are more likely to biologically attach during making love. And once she's in love, her brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormones, at higher levels than men. Anong ibig sabihin neto? When a woman loves, you may not see it, but she invests all of herself. You occupy her thoughts, she opens up her body, and she prays for your soul. But when a man stops showing up, syempre, emotionally, physically, and mentally, don't blame her because she's going to pull away. That post says, once a man stops providing, she leaves. But here's the truth. What pushes women away isn't the lack of money. It's emotional poverty. Nako, worried ba kayo that you'll end up with a woman who only wants what you can give? Nako, listen up, males. Here's a matchmaker gold digger filter. This is something that we used in our team. This is backed by science. Now, if you want to know if somebody's gold digger or not, just go through these 3 questions. Number 1, stress test. This is from Harvard study on attachment. When you're down, does she stick around? Real partners lean in during tough times. Ang gold digger, they ghost when the giving stops. Number 2, goal-oriented listening. This is based on Gottman Institute's research. So ask yourself, does she ask about your purpose or just about your purchases? Emotionally intelligent women light up when you talk about your dreams and not just your wallet. Number 3, identity fusion check. This is based on psychological science ng 2012. Sabi niya, does she celebrate your wins like they're hers? Real love blurs the lines between your success and her joy. So if she's indifferent unless it's her benefit, then it's transactional, not devotion. So just go through those 3 questions. How do you feel about
filter?
Yeah.
Gold digger filter.
Because
I didn't know there was actually a gold digger filter.
It is something that we've created to tell what is the intention of a woman when we are matching them with a man.
But of course, you can also use this test on men, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I just have to make that clear.
Galing.
Anything goes. And
getting
mamaya, women lang, gold diggers para sa women lang. Teka lang, the guys also.
Oh, sabi ko sa'yo, yung nag-post you're getting ready for a war.
Exactly. Kasi he's generalizing women that once you cannot provide anymore, we
They're
walk
gonna
away.
leave you.
But the question is, what can you not provide? Or what have you stopped providing her? Baka naman it's not really material things, baka it's your time.
Well, because most
and
of
your
the
love.
time, right? Like, I feel like if you date a guy that gives and gives and gives, but he's busy working or something, that always happens a lot. So he can't provide you the time, like you said.
Yeah.
So maybe from a guy's perspective, they think that it's
money,
the provisions that they're giving the women, but it's not that, it's the time.
Yes, that's correct.
And honestly, you brought up a good point earlier about how you said women normally get attached when they do, sexy time. Oh my gosh, my ears, I'm a child, I'm a baby. But I feel like most of the time,
true, though.
yeah, but most of the time, there's also instances, I'm not saying this, don't hate me guys, camera guys. Sometimes when guys get the sexy time, then they leave.
Having said that, Mo, let's look at what's next. Totoo yan. Because, well, to be fair to the letter sender, yes, some women use men talaga for their resources. Sama, but let's not act like men don't use love to access women's bodies too. It happens. No gender owns the moral high ground. Women don't fall in love with wallets alone. We fall for men who offer peace, presence, purpose, and protection. A woman who knows her worth won't just settle for a man who only offers things. Basic lang yung things. She'll wait for the man who offers himself. So gentlemen, stop asking, oh, will she love me even if I have nothing? And start asking, am I giving her something worth loving? Because when a woman loves right, she multiplies everything you give her. So come with more than just cash. Come with character. And don't forget, this is the most important part. A woman who bears your child walks the tightrope between life and death. Diba? That's a very dangerous thing to do. Childbirth is the closest a woman comes to dying, just to give you a legacy. So no, providing isn't the price, it's the bare minimum. And no amount of money will ever match the emotional, physical, and spiritual labor she'll do just to deal with you, di ba? Hindi, just joking.
Anne's reaction when you're talking about the labor and giving birth.
Let's talk a little bit about that. Di ba?
Because you
I
almost
totally
died.
agree.
I almost
Did
died.
you?
Yeah.
See?
I took 9 or 10 hours labor, and then after that, I had to give birth. It was a normal delivery. I don't want to get into details on national TV, but I had a hard time. I almost died. I lost a lot of blood. And it's really a sacrifice that you make. You know, you're giving so much of yourself. And if the guy thinks that to give back with just material things is enough, no, I don't think so. Yeah, if I dedicated my life for you, then you should actually dedicate your life to me as well. Yeah.
Right. And diba, giving birth is just one part of it. You have the carrying the child and the lifetime worries and dedication that a woman has to do and for their child. So men, remember that women are always worth it. That's it for today, loves. This is Coach V bringing you real talk about real love. If you're tired of the bitter noise and ready to find love built on soul and not just salary, slide into my DMs, Dating Coach V, and join me again tomorrow and have a beautiful day. And wait, to the ladies, keep your standards high, loves. Your love isn't cheap, and the right man won't mind the cost. Love you.
Yes, that is so true. We are so worth it.
Ang tahimik ng guys, napansin nyo ba?
Tahimik ng guys?
Yes, kinakabahan sila.
Yes, Dennis? What's the problem,
What do you
Dennis?
think?
Why are we quiet today?
Kuya Dennis, will you ever ask a woman again, what do you bring to the table? Tatanungin mo pa ba sila ng ganyan? Hindi na daw. Mukha siya ng trauma today's episode.
I think the guy who wrote that Reddit post, I don't know, where does he get his dates?
That's a good question. Because if he has been exposed with women who just wants to take money, that's why he has his reality. So maybe,
Different.
Kuya, you should change the people that you date.
But also, it could be perspective too, though.
Okay.
Like what we said, like
Point.
maybe in his mind he thinks just the girls that he's dating are just asking for material things, when in reality she's really asking for his time and for his efforts and everything. But he thinks that it's just the material thing.
I guess we won't really know.
We won't know.
But
We're
he
just
needs
assuming.
to like broaden his horizon and date different kinds of girls, right? Because he's generalizing that. But when you think about it, oftentimes people say that it's the woman who gives more in a relationship, right? So
More
he's saying-
emotionally
Yes,
and like
yes.
physically, I feel like
Yeah,
the material things, and the provisions, the guys,
Yeah,
but everything
yeah.
else, the woman.
But the love that you give, the emotions and everything, and if you're married, you give birth, so you sacrifice your
a lot.
life,
Yes,
right,
yes,
and
yes.
everything. So I think it's really most of the time it's the girl who gives more in a relationship.
Who here, the mga camera guys, who gives more than your mga wife?
Oh, syempre sasabihin
So quiet.
Quiet.
Pomelo.
Tahimik.
Sasabihin ng mga guys, syempre kami. Lagi kaming nag-OT. Pero mga kuyas, nakita niyo ba yung what your wives are doing at home?
But you guys give them time at home.
Work,
When you guys
yes.
get home, do you guys make them lambing and whatnot when you guys get home, or do you guys just go to sleep?
Not just give the sweldo, but lambing too. No lambing? Oh.
Teka, tanungin muna natin si Mo, what's lambing?
In English? Lambing. We talk about
Baka
this
iba na
in
naman yung
English.
definition mo of
Like you're
these
hugging
Tagalog
and
terms.
you're
Sweet.
lovey-dovey. There you go.
See?
I knew that
Yeah.
one.
But you know, loves, both men and women have worries and concerns when it comes to love and dating, di ba? Men, they're scared of women who just wants them for money, while women naman, we're scared of men who just wants us for our body.
That's so true.
Diba?
Yeah.
So maybe one of the things that we can do is be very transparent on who we are and what we're looking for. And most of all, let's not make our partner feel as if we only want one thing from them. Let's be there there for them ups and downs para you won't need a gold digger filter.
So for your clients, Coach V, when they like do a first date, do you tell them to go ahead and just lay down their expectations and what they're looking for when they're dating somebody new?
So not on a first date, because first date is meant to know if you guys vibe, if you can laugh together. But as matchmakers, it's our goal to find that person even before they meet them. That's why we filter the women before they even go on a date.
Oh my goodness.
So yes.
All the filtering, the gold digger filter.
Yes, that's right. Because finding your person is a very important job.
Well, girl power today. Have you learned so much?
Yes,
This week has been such a fun week, and thank you for tuning in with the three crazy girlies over here giving you different perspectives.
But thank you, Coach V. And if you have any messages or letters that you want to send to Coach V, if you want some advice, all you have to do is to message her any time of the day. She replies.
Even at 3 a.m. Yes. I hope he did that on purpose.
But thank you so much,
my pleasure.
Coach V. Oh my goodness. And that is it for us today. Friday, April 25, the last Friday of April. I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. I'll catch you guys later, 11 a.m. on Mellow 94.7 BFM. And wherever this day and this weekend takes you, always remember to choose joy, spread kindness, and pack your own sunshine.
And I'm Monique Tuzon, but before we go, Anne and I would like to thank our sponsors, Lift Clinic and Pino Beauty Lounge, for always making us beautiful and camera ready.
That's
I
right.
hope you guys have a great weekend ahead. Join us again on Monday at 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. with Paolo Now, only here on
It's a Beautiful Day!